A great game between the Vikings of Atlantic City and the Spartans of Holy Spirit. Atlantic City won that first matchup at AC, coming back from a 6-point deficit at the end of the third quarter to win it. And they meet here again today. 15-4 the record of both teams. Atlantic City has won 7 straight, and Holy Spirit 5 in a row, and both teams playing well.
Absolutely, Tony. It was a very close game first time around. Very close matchup first time around when these two got together, as you mentioned, over in Atlantic City. And this is the rematch. And to be honest, there's not a ton on the line tonight in terms of seeding, in terms of rankings, but the most on the line tonight when it comes to bragging rights, when it comes to really one of the best rivalry games in all of South Jersey. Listen, these two teams don't like each other. It's no secret. They go head-to-head, close games every year, it seems like. Maybe that number 2 seed in the Cape Atlantic League tournament is up for grabs tonight. Maybe not. But either way, this is a game that means so much to both of these schools, so much to both of these coaching staffs, and so much to both of these groups of players. Really, it can't be measured in what's on the lines in terms of ranking, but more what's on the line in terms of pride.
No question. And coming into this game, Atlantic City leads the conference, the American Conference, at 9-0, and Holy Spirit 9-1. So if Holy Spirit were to win this game, they would tie Atlantic City, and so I guess you could say that at least is on the line. But of course, next week they could end up playing each other again in the Cape Atlantic tournament, which is, I just think that other than the state, that is just the best time of the year because it is so exciting.
It's a tournament we've talked about all season long, and it's almost here. Seedings will be announced sometime on Friday or early Saturday. First round games set for next Monday. Semifinal round to be at Apsagami, 2 semifinals on Thursday, and then championship Saturday, a week from this Saturday out at Stockton College. So you break down how the Cal playoff picture looks. Right now at this point, St. Augustine has to be that number 1 seed. The Hermits have beaten both of these teams. But then, as we mentioned, that 2 seed, is it up for grabs tonight? Atlantic City seems to have that spot right now, having beaten the Spartans the first time around. Do you put more weight on a game later in the season? If you do, then maybe the Spartans with a win tonight could get that 2 seed. But either way, if the standings, if the brackets shake out the way they should, chalk, if you will, then that 2 and 3 would match up on a neutral court in the semifinal anyway. So, yes, this is the second meeting of the season between the Vikings and the Spartans, but I have a good feeling, Tony, it won't be the last.
No question about it. And talking to Coach Jamie Gillespie, he just feels they just have to execute a little bit better than they did in the first game. Be patient, run their sets, run the offense, and make Atlantic City play defense. They had a 6-point lead, as I mentioned, at the end of 3 quarters in the first game. And that Atlantic City defense, he said, can make players do things that we don't want them to do. They go one-on-one. They attack the rim. He wants them to run the offense and make Atlantic City play defense. He has to get some production out of Taylor tonight. Didn't get too much the first game. They have to guard their perimeter shooters, keep them off the glass, and go deep because he always tries to do, and that is happened in the first game. They just take the other team and blow past them because they are so much fresher. So he plans on playing 8 or 9 and have some fresh bodies. And he feels that they're playing well. They beat Camden Catholic, a top team in South Jersey, and they are playing unselfish basketball. He wants to see them continue that here tonight.
Absolutely, Tony. It's no secret Atlantic City, they get after you on defense. They've done it for years under Gene Allen. This year is no different, and they go deep, as you mentioned. We're talking about maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 guys, depending on what mood Gene Allen is in. And it's just a situation where the Spartans of Holy Spirit, quite simply, quite honestly, don't have that kind of depth. Maybe the Spartans starting 5, you give the edge over the Vikings starting 5, but it's a team game, and the bench is involved with that. So what can the Spartans of Holy Spirit get from their bench? And as you mentioned, how long can the Spartans starter kind of withstand that pressure from the Vikings defense? We saw it a couple weeks ago out at the shoot down at Cancer Classic at St. Augustine when Atlantic City was taking on Middle Township. And Middle Township had the lead for much of that ball game. They had the Vikings right where they wanted them, but then all of a sudden that pressure sort of gets to you, and the Vikings just keep throwing fresh bodies out there, and all of a sudden Atlantic City surges back in the second half and beats the Middle Township team. So I would definitely keep an eye on foul trouble for the Spartans tonight. They can't afford to have any of the starters get into foul trouble, and if they're able to stay out of foul trouble, conditioning, how well can they keep up with that full court pressure from the Vikings? It's late in the season. These guys should be well conditioned, so I don't think that'll be an issue for Jamie Gillespie's bunch.
And the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're paying top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com. As far as Gene Allen is concerned, he feels his team has to rebound better than they did the first time. And he says they're going to switch, play guard to guard and big to big. And he said last time out, this is quite a statistic, 34 points by Holy Spirit within 10 feet of the basket. He says we just cannot allow that. He wants to play as fast as possible. Daniels, who did not play in the first game, wasn't eligible to transfer from Holy Spirit, can rebound and also can dribble the ball very well and gives them more quickness. He wants to spread out their attack, and he wants to flash down low, wear down, as we said, Holy Spirit, put that ball pressure on. And he also said he'd like to make some of the players who are not used to dribbling dribble the basketball. He wants to make them uncomfortable and have players who are not used to doing certain things have to do them. We'll see how that plays out here tonight.
Well, when you mentioned Leon Daniels, that sticks out to me. In one way or another tonight, you know the headlines are going to have something to do with Leon Daniels. Of course, the transfer from Holy Spirit. Now, a key player in the rotation for the Atlantic City Vikings, a guy who had to sit for X amount of days to start the season, but once he was inserted into the lineup for the Vikings, an instant contributor. You could almost say the star player for the Vikings, but it's a situation where does he try to do a little too much out of the gate? He's playing for the first time on a court that he called home for two seasons here in Absecon. So does he try to press a little bit, or does he let the game come to him? Either way, he should factor into the outcome to this one.
No question about it. And as we mentioned last time out, Tyler Jones did not give Jamie Gillespie, I don't think, what he wanted. He is 6'6". He's a junior, so he's one of their big people, and they need to get production out of him. Played very well defensively in the second half against Atlantic City, but as we mentioned, after having that 6-point lead at the end of three quarters, they just kind of couldn't seal the deal, and he wants to prevent that from happening again. But he's very pleased with the way Holy Spirit has been playing, and of course John Middleton the other night, I believe it was against Vineland, had 35. So he's 6'4", but plays guard really, or can swing into the forward position. Very, very dangerous. So he's got to be something that Atlantic City is very concerned with.
Middleton, a guy who's been on the radar here in South Jersey for a long time. Of course, a Division I recruit, recently selected to the prestigious North-South All-Star game, and he'll be representing the Spartans in that one. And yeah, you're right, Tony. Jamie Gillespie very happy with the way the Spartans are playing of late. I talked to him before the season, and he seemed a little more relaxed as opposed to some recent years. You know, they live and die game to game here, these big-time programs like Holy Spirit, and he didn't want that to necessarily be the case this season. He sort of wanted to enjoy the ride and not put too much pressure on his guys as they go. They suffered a couple losses in some big games, but it seems like they're turning those tables lately, having beaten the Camden Catholic team at St. Augustine a couple weeks ago. And look, again, to be brutally honest, the outlook does not look good for Holy Spirit in the non-public B South playoffs. When you get to the state level, as good as Holy Spirit is, they're the 8th seed. That means one home game, basically. And you get number 9 Gill St. Bernard's coming to town, which is not your average number 9 team. And then if you can get by that team, you'd have to face the number 1 team in all of the state, which is Roselle Catholic. So I'm not saying I'm counting the Spartans out for the state playoffs, but it's certainly probably the most daunting road any team in the state would travel. So you put more stock into this. You put more stock into these big-time rivalry games in the regular season, and certainly you put a lot of stock into the Cape Atlantic League playoffs. And this is a game tonight that, as you mentioned, could go a long way in deciding the regular season title in the Cal American Conference. It could also plant that seed come Cal tournament time that, hey, this is what we did to you last time out, and we have that advantage over you if we see you again in the Cal tournament.
Yeah, no question. And I think that Jamie feels that his team is now able. Last year there were some games that they just didn't close them out. But one thing you have to say about Holy Spirit, Mike, they probably have played the toughest schedule in all of South Jersey.
No question.
They were scheduled to play the number 3 team in all of South Jersey in Trenton Catholic over the weekend. Because of inclement weather, they didn't get to do that. And oh, by the way, they're playing St. Anthony's on Saturday. And they've already played Haddonfield. They've already played Camden Catholic. They play Atlantic City twice. I mean, they have a tough schedule, but as you said, Roselle Catholic number 1, the Patrick School, which is ineligible for the state tournament, also in the South Jersey B, and Trenton Catholic number 3. The top 3 teams in all of South Jersey are non-public B. So, as you said, a very tough road to hold. But once the South Jersey or the state tournament gets going, anything can happen.
That's right, Tony. And still a lot of basketball to play till we get to that level. We have this week of regular season games. Of course, that Cape Atlantic League tournament, and then that state tournament. But you're right, Holy Spirit does not dodge anyone. They never do. Atlantic City, basically the same way. The Vikings play a very, very difficult schedule. And it's a situation, we're going back to talking to Jamie Gillespie before the season. Again, they put so much weight game in and game out, but in scheduling that schedule, you're not going to run the gauntlet in that situation. So you take your lumps, you learn from them, you move on, and that's why the Spartans are sitting here, still considered one of the top teams in South Jersey.
Yeah, they have a very cohesive unit, and they are playing very well. And Gene Allen, of course, has a top club as well, and they're going to be good next year as well. Of course, they have a kid, 6'11", Hearns, who doesn't play that much this year, but he said he'll be a lot better at this time next year. So we are here at Holy Spirit, and everyone getting prepared to stand for the national anthem, and standing right in front of us is someone who can belt it out real well, and she's been doing it a number of times as we've been here at Holy Spirit, and we're looking forward to that. Just waiting for her to be given the microphone.
On the Holy Spirit High School, celebrating 50 years here in Absecon for tonight's Atlantic League matchup between the Atlantic City Vikings and the Holy Spirit Spartans. At this time, we will please rise for the singing of our national anthem by Miss Mia Watson, Holy Spirit class of 2020.
Ladies, are you ready for the ultimate girls' night out? Join us Saturday night, February 28th, for cocktail shopping and swag bags filled with the hottest items and discounts worth
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly serene, and the rockets recollect the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
All right, send it back. All right, we are back here at Holy Spirit. A great rendition of the national anthem, and we are now set for the introductions of players for both teams. The visiting Vikings will be introduced first. Gene Allen, the coach of the Vikings, has had tremendous success. I mean, probably as much success as anybody. I mean, back-to-back state tournaments, state championships in Group 4. Just, he's done a great job.
Situation, though, Tony, where the Vikings of Atlantic City trying to get that edge back. I mean, you're right. They came off of those back-to-back state championships 2 years ago and 3 years ago. Then all of a sudden, almost ran out of gas at the end of the last season, losing to Wildwood Catholic in really big fashion in the championship game of the Cape Atlantic League tournament, and then an upset loss against the Southern Rams in the second round of the South Jersey Group 4 tournament. So Gene, knowing his kids had to get tougher, a lot of those same guys are back, and they certainly look tougher and geared up for the home stretch this year.
Yeah, no question about it. One team that Gene does not like to see is Southern. And especially when they had Gazicki.
And they could see him again. They're lined up to play in the second round again and again. It would be an AC this year.
Yeah, Coach Gazicki is now playing for Penn State as a tight end, an excellent player, but remember the first time he played against him, he said he is a beast. I mean, he was 6'6", but about 230, and really tough to handle down low, even with Montague. I mean, he was very tough, but of course last year a last-second loss, and as you said, they could see them again this year. Starting for Atlantic City will be Lamar Thomas, Shamir Pavard, Leon Daniels, Kevin Allen, and Jamal Williams. And now the introduction of the home standing that is Spartans of Holy Spirit. C.J. Barnes will start. He is a 6-foot junior. Tyler Jones, a 6'6" junior. Matt Summers, a 6-foot senior, also will start at guard.
Summers is a guy a little bit unheralded. We don't talk about him a whole lot, but a guy who can really affect the outcome of a game. Really good shooter from the arc. If he gets hot early, look out.
Jordan Taylor, a 6'6" senior. And John Middleton, a 6'4" senior. So we're just about ready to get it on, as they say, right?
Yeah, the crowd's ready too. They've been waiting a whole extra 24 hours for this one. Of course, this game originally scheduled for Tuesday night, snow pushing things back to Wednesday night, and it was a situation where it was sold out before fans even showed up to attend this one. Tickets sold in advance, and yeah, these fans have been waiting. It was a one-sided JV game won by Holy Spirit. Fans hoping for a much closer varsity game here.
Yeah, the final with a JV was 74-60. Holy Spirit coming out on top. So Holy Spirit dressed in their white home uniforms with gold and blue trim, and Atlantic City kind of the opposite in their navy blues with white and gray trim. It'll be Daniels jumping it up against Jordan Taylor. Atlantic City shooting to our right and Holy Spirit to our left. Tip is controlled by Atlantic City. Here's Redfern who gets the start tonight instead of Williams. Veering to his right. Holy Spirit opens up in a 2-3 zone, calling out the set play. Center court. Lifts his right hand, trying to set the play. Now one hops left sideline for Thomas. Right side it goes to Pavard. Pavard, center court for Thomas. Thomas holds right side for Pavard. Down low, Allen cuts in and lays it home off glass.
Kevin Allen so strong down low. It seems like we talk about him during every Atlantic City broadcast, and with good reason. Not the tallest guy on the court, but by far the strongest guy.
He is. He's 6'4", but has good bulk. Head of the key. It's Taylor. Left baseline, Summers outside for the long-range jump that is good for Jordan Taylor for 3. Center court Thomas. And if he can hit it from the perimeter, that's going to be a big problem for Atlantic City with his size.
So dynamic. You know he can get it done on the inside, and you're right. If he can start stroking it from outside, he's going to have a great night.
Pavard, free throw line jumper is no good. Rebound is snared by Taylor. Up court it goes for Taylor. Cuts in and lays it home, no good. The tip, no good. The follow is no good. And the rebound is snared by Daniels. He's to the forecourt in a hurry. Down the lane for the cutting Pavard. That is no good as he looks to stuff it. Rebound, though, snared by Thomas. Cuts in and drops it home.
Lamar Thomas, a little swagger in his step tonight. He's fired up for this one. Of course, he always seems to show up in these big games, and this is a big game, Atlantic City versus Holy Spirit.
Barnes moves it across against Redfern. Redfern right on him, and he bumps C.J. Barnes and picks up the personal.
Almost as if Redfern was daring the officials to call it that way early on. You saw a lot of contact there, but that's classic Atlantic City defense. They're going to body you up, they're going to make you call it, and guess what? If a guy gets in foul trouble, Gene's going to go to his bench.
Yeah, he was chest to chest with Barnes. Right baseline, Middleton down the lane, loses control. Now here's Summers, dishes left-hand corner for Middleton. Cross-court pass for Taylor, right-hand corner jumper. It's good for three, back-to-back threes for Taylor. Center court, Redfern. They swing it left sideline for Thomas. Thomas underneath for the cutter, but it's no good. It's swatted. Daniels attempting, but he was fouled on the play.
So loud in here you couldn't even really hear the whistle. I was about to say Holy Spirit telling Leon Daniels he's no longer welcome here in Absecon, but give Daniels credit. He's able to maneuver his body around down there and draw some contact. It looked like all ball up top, but so many times, Tony, on those foul calls, it's what happens down low, body to body there.
Yeah, he was blocked by two players, but here's the free throw. It's no good. Bounces off the front of the rim and falls away, and Holy Spirit fans in the end zone seats making a lot of ruckus and looking to distract Daniels.
This is the most elaborate get the free throw shooter off his game routine I've ever seen, and the officials are talking it over right now to see if it's going to be allowed. There's a full curtain the students are holding up behind the basket, and they're opening it up to reveal a guy basically in a dress. So let's call it what it is right now, and he's dancing around.
That's what it is. Second is good. Bounces around and drops through.
Only at Atlantic City Holy Spirit would you see something like that, Tony.
Here's the inbound pass to Barnes, and he is bumped in the backcourt. So second team foul on Atlantic City as they are putting pressure on right from the get-go.
You know, we mentioned Gene Allen, the Vikings of Atlantic City have the depth, but even with that depth, this game probably being called a little tighter than Gene would like at this point. You know, he's a guy who really tells his guys to go chest to chest, and we've seen a couple fouls called now.
And on the inbound pass, Barnes looking to toss in, throws it away, looking for Taylor, but nowhere near him.
And because no one touched that ball, it goes back to where the guy who fired it out of bounds was standing, which is a baseline out of bounds play for the Vikings.
So Prevard to toss in. Slaps the basketball, looks, continues to look, comes to Daniels deep along the left sideline, puts on the floor, down the lane, underneath finds Allen and flips it home. That penetration by Daniels really made the play.
Kevin Allen is never that wide open down low. It almost looked like he didn't know what to do with it.
So another turnover as they threw it out of bounds again. Back-to-back turnovers for Holy Spirit as the pressure is paying dividends here.
Absolutely, and already a fresh body comes in for Gene Allen's team. Ashawn Centino, the transfer from Pleasantville, a very active guy who can, again, another guy who can really get after it defensively.
Lamar Thomas head of the free throw line. Long-range jump is no good. Rebound to Middleton. Middleton to the forecourt left side, behind the back. Continues the dribble, behind his back again. Now gives it up for Barnes. Barnes center court, watched by Thomas. Barnes to the left side of the lane. Now back the other way as he retreats to the left side of the lane. Leaves it for Summers, and it's out of bounds. Last touched again by Holy Spirit. So 3 in a row there, Mike.
And that was Centino coming in right off the bench and already making a difference on defense. He's a high-energy guy. You're probably not going to get 15 or 20 points from him, but guess what? You're going to get 2 or 3 steals every time out.
7-6, Atlantic City on top with 4:58 left in this opening quarter of play, and the pressure of Atlantic City with 3 straight turnovers, and they have the basketball.
It's no secret, Tony, that the Holy Spirit's going to have to weather this storm. We mentioned it. They don't have the depth. It's not like Jamie Gillespie can throw another guy out there. They have to figure out a way to break through this Vikings defense and that pressure.
A whistle down low. Not quite sure what happened, but it will be Holy Spirit basketball. Brevard?
3-second call, I think, was the call down there, which is strange. You don't have to see a 3-second call at the start of a possession, but it looks like they got somebody sort of camping out in the lane down there.
So here's the inbound pass to Taylor. Taylor switching hands on the dribble. Not the one you want bringing the ball up court, but forced to do so, and now Middleton is bumped by Prevard. So Atlantic City is not wasting any time in this game, Mike. Sometimes they wait to put the pressure on until the second half and wear you down right here, right from the opening bell.
Not holding anything back, and why would you? Big-time rivalry game, and if you have the depth like Gene Allen does, go ahead and send the Dogs on attack mode.
Here's Middleton. Left side for Summers. Watched by Thomas. Center court for Jones. One hops right-hand corner for Middleton. Middleton backing his way. Cuts in, and he's called for steps.
Sort of a college or NBA move there from John Middleton. Maybe you get away with that on the next level. Of course, he'll be playing big-time college basketball next season. But here in high school, they'll call that a treble every time.
Right sideline. Centino, center court. It goes for Allen. Watched by Jones, directing traffic, pointing. Sends right sideline for Centino, center court for Thomas. Approaching 4 minutes left, first quarter. Thomas looking to set the offense. Watched by Barnes as he retreats to center court. Throws right sideline for Centino, played by Summers. Center court, Daniels. Swings it left sideline, Thomas. He sets, he shoots, he hits for three.
Again, we talk about it every time we do an Atlantic City game, but Lamar Thomas has really no range, and then all of a sudden, off of the made three, the Vikings turn the Spartans over once again.
Yeah, Barnes looking for Middleton, but again, just threw it away. He's done that twice. 10-6, Atlantic City on top.
I say no range for Lamar Thomas. Of course, I mean no limit to his range. The guy can shoot from basically anywhere in the gym.
He can. And he has the basketball. Works off the pick from Allen, head of the key. Played by Barnes, outside Allen. He'll take the long-range pop and hits. Now, if he's gotten it going from perimeter, you got trouble.
Yeah, that's going to be a long night for Holy Spirit if Kevin Allen's heating up from outside. You know you're going to get points from him down low, but if he's stroking the three, he's really tough to stop.
13-6, Atlantic City leads it with 3:22 left in the opening quarter. Live coverage of Atlantic City Vikings is brought to you in part by Dino's of Margate, open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m., serving award-winning subs and pizza. Dino's delivers all over. Call 609-822-6602. As one customer said online, this is a Margate institution for good reason. Dino's, 8016 Vector Avenue in Margate. And the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're paying top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com.
Freshman into the game for Holy Spirit now, Tony. Drew Gallagher, of course. It's a big-time game, but he's a guy who has seen some minutes at the varsity level, so maybe he can come in and settle things down for Holy Spirit.
Well, he can handle the basketball as a freshman. Here's Middleton spinning. Almost has it taken away, and it is stolen. Daniels picks it up. He's to the forecourt. Daniels to the free throw line with a step to the floater. That is good.
Everything going right for Atlantic City right now. A dream start for the Vikings, now up 15-6.
Here's Middleton moving it across against Centino. Middleton veering to his left-hand corner for Summers. Outside for Taylor. Leaves it head of the key for Jones. Watched by Allen. One hops left side. Middleton for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound tapped up, loose. And Allen fighting with Gallagher, and he pulls it free. Gives off to Thomas. Accelerates on Gallagher to the baseline for the floater that is no good. Rebound, tip, and a whistle.
Lamar Thomas, almost a one-on-three situation there, driving to the basket, but again, able to draw enough contact to draw the foul, and now he'll go to the line. Or will he? They're going to say it's on the ground, apparently, on the floor.
I think he is going to the free throw line. So 2 shots for Lamar Thomas, and this is a guy who seems to have been around forever.
Still only a junior,
Yeah.
excuse me, Tony, hard to believe, but he's a guy who played a huge role on that last state championship team for the Vikings, a guy coming off the bench and doing exactly what we see him doing 2 years later, stroking the big-time three.
Misses the first, he will get one more. 15-6, Atlantic City looking to make it a double-digit lead, and they do. 6 thus far for Thomas. C.J. Barnes looking to inbound. It comes to Taylor. Taylor in the backcourt has it stolen by Daniels. Daniels spins away underneath to the cutting Pavard, and he drops it home. Timeout called on the court as Atlantic City pulling away early, 18-6 with 2:19 left in this first quarter of play. Vagabond Kitchen and Tap House just down the street from Atlantic City High School. The neighbor with the best burgers. Vagabond features live entertainment every single night. Vagabond Kitchen and Tap House is open weeknights until 1 a.m. until 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Join your fellow Viking fans before and after the games at Vagabond. Well, as you said, Mike, everything seems to be going the Vikings' way. They're just tearing it up here in the early going.
Spartans are going to have to adjust right now. They're going to have to adjust in terms of who brings the ball up the court. John Middleton, we've seen him play that point guard spot in years past. For whatever reason this year, Jamie Gillespie has sort of gotten away from that, maybe to give John a little more energy once they get into the front court. But all of a sudden, we look at it right now, and John Middleton has the ball in his hands. He projects as a point guard at the college level. They're going to need him to play point guard tonight to break this pressure.
And Greg Edelbach has checked in for Atlantic City and whistle on the play.
C.J. Barnes, another guy who's certainly capable with the basketball in his hands, but the Vikings of Atlantic City doing a nice job trying to deny both Barnes and Middleton the basketball so far. That's why we've seen the ball in the hands of some other players like a Jordan Taylor, who's not as comfortable bringing the ball up the floor.
Underneath to Jones, who lays it home on the great look by Taylor. So Jones on the scoreboard. Down the lane for the floater. Centino no good. Barnes with the rebound. He's triple teamed, has it stolen. Here's Williams down the lane, and an offensive foul. Holding his ground was Barnes, and he got run over, and he drew the personal foul.
Really a smart play by C.J. Barnes. He comes up with the rebound, turns around, looking to run. Little did he know he had 3 AC Vikings waiting for him, so he turns it over, but he sees he's in a position to draw that charge, and that's exactly what he does.
So the inbound pass to Middleton, and it looks like they're going to rely on him to settle things down here as he's played by Santino as he moves it across with a left-hand dribble. Sends left side for Barnes. Barnes to the baseline. Barnes continues, and whistle underneath, a hold on Atlantic City. Barnes there looking to attack the rim, driving the left baseline.
They're going to need a lot of that from him tonight. He's a guy who doesn't always look for his game on offense, sort of a guy who facilitates things, tough as nails on defense, but they're going to need some scoring from C.J. Barnes tonight.
And he will trigger. Looking in, he's had trouble getting the ball inbound. This time finds Middleton deep in the left-hand corner. Watched by Williams. Middleton sends left-hand corner for Barnes, outside for Middleton. Watched by Williams, has the big height advantage over him. He's going to take it to the 10. Inside, and it's no good. Too short. Rebound to Williams. Down court to the running Thomas. A great leaping interception, something you'd see in football, by Barnes to Taylor. He throws it away. Intercepted by Allen. Down court to Santino, right-hand corner. Outside for Thomas. Underneath to the cutting Edelbach. No good. Rejected by Jones and out of bounds.
A lot of back and forth play on that last sequence, Tony, and the thing is, there were some open passes there. Neither team really able to execute it. A couple of those passes, turnovers at both ends behind some people. As a result, we see a lot of up and down helter-skelter play.
Santino with the inbound pass to Allen, in close, and he banks it home. So Allen with 9 points and easy inbound play, and now Holy Spirit throws the inbound pass away again. Side jumper is no good by Thomas. It's rebounded by Taylor. Moves it across right side. Center court sends for C.J. Barnes. Under a minute with 35 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Barnes has trouble but recovers. Left side for Jones, and he throws it away. He just threw it in the back of C.J. Barnes. I thought he may have thought that he was retreating, but nowhere near him.
Jamie Gillespie beside himself right now in front of that Holy Spirit bench. This is very uncharacteristic, this start for the Spartans, really playing like this is some kind of a preseason game, not a big-time rivalry game late in the regular season.
20-8. Santino circles to his left. Santino sends right side for Thomas on the weave with 15 seconds left. He's at center court as Thomas. Going to play for one here. Thomas now will start the offense. Stepping forward. Crossover down the lane and has it rejected out of bounds. Sweet crossover there, but did draw the personal foul.
Lamar Thomas almost catching the Spartans off guard a little bit. I think he went to the basket with a little more time on the clock than the Spartans were expecting. You look up there, there's still 3.5 left. Usually a guy will drive at this point, but again, he saw a little bit of weakness there, penetrates, and it pays off with a trip to the line.
First is off the back of the rim, no good. And again, the Spartan student section now going with the human banana behind the screen. Second is good. 7 for Thomas. 3.5 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Here's Summers with a long jumper, three-quarter court. That is no good. So Atlantic City on top, 21-8 after the first quarter, and they have played very well. Vic Sub Shop at 742 Ohio Avenue in Absecon. Phone 645-0500. Vic opens 7 days a week until 8 p.m. on weeknights, 9:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Vic Sub Shop, Ohio Avenue in Absecon. Interstate Batteries, America's #1 replacement battery, is at 6064 Riga Avenue in EHT. Phone them 609-646-5008. If you need a battery, you'll find it at Interstate Batteries. Tested and trusted. And the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Check out their online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. Well, I think if you're Gene Allen, Mike, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
Absolutely. And you saw a couple threes early there from Holy Spirit, Jordan Taylor in particular, and you thought, boy, this could be a really entertaining first quarter. But after that second three went down for Jordan Taylor, it was all Atlantic City, and they did it with defense, as they normally do, just turning the Spartans over time and time again. They get some timely threes in there of their own from Kevin Allen, from Lamar Thomas, some great defensive play as well from some guys like Ashawn Santino and also Leon Daniels. So really a true team effort right now for Atlantic City, and that's why they have a big lead after one.
Yeah, they've probably thrown at least 3 inbound passes away. I mean, that's kind of where you start.
Right, unforced. I mean, but,
yeah,
you know, some of that stuff looks unforced, but really when you break it down, Atlantic City is denying the ball to certain people. So, yes, technically it may be unforced, but, you know, at the back of that thing, there is some forced errors going on.
So right in front of our broadcast location, Barnes to trigger. It comes to Middleton, played by Santino. Middleton puts on the floor, accelerates, sends left side for Summers. Center court for Jones. To Middleton, right sideline. Holds the ball high over the head, played by Santino. Looking, continues to look, and a 5-second violation. The call against Holy Spirit. So they're getting hit from all different angles.
The Vikings earning those turnovers, you're right, from all angles, whether it's, you know, strips on defense, 5-second calls as we saw there, but just so good not only on the ball defending, Tony, but away from the ball too. I mean, they're just denying the basketball to the people that they know the Spartans want to get the basketball to.
Yeah, the passing lanes just are not there. Santino right sideline. Looks to flip down low for Redfern, but knocked away and out of bounds. Last touch by Holy Spirit. 21-8. Redfern to trigger. Lobs it in for Daniels. Cuts in for the short flip that is no good. It's tapped to the left. Hustled down by Taylor. He starts out. The leaping lead down court for Barnes. Let's see if they're going to call it here. They say it was last touch by Holy Spirit.
Tell you what, Barnes has been taking a beating so far. We're only less than a minute into the second quarter here. He's been on the ground every other play, and he's already limping a little bit. So, again, we talked about Holy Spirit not having a ton of depth. They're going to need a guy like C.J. Barnes to go the distance tonight.
Thomas, center court, leaves it for Redfern. Watched by Summers. Redfern cuts left, now spins back the other way with a step down the lane. Has it rejected, and it's rebounded by Summers. Summers loses control. Loose on the floor. And they say Holy Spirit touched it last. Love to see the turnover statistics here in this first half of play.
Even the close calls, even the 50-50 calls going against the Spartans right now. It's really a tough start to this game for Holy Spirit.
Ryan Fader also in the game now for Atlantic City. Kevin Allen back in. And he'll replace Santino. Thomas inbounds to Redfern in the backcourt. Redfern moves it across. Sends left sideline for Fader. Down low for Thomas. Acts his way, now flips the other way. No good on the short jumper. And it's last touch out of bounds by Atlantic City.
Thomas maybe trying to do a little bit too much down low. He's a little undersized down there and was going up a couple bigger players. Ryan Fader was open for three, just didn't see him out there.
So the inbound pass comes to Middleton. Jack Marzik is checked in for Holy Spirit. Middleton moves it across. Throws right sideline, intended for Barnes off his fingertips, and another turnover for Holy Spirit.
This is unbelievable, Tony. I've seen Holy Spirit play a number of times this year. I've never seen them even half this sloppy. Just really a poor start. I mean, and that's certainly an understatement. You're not going to be able to score baskets. You're not going to be able to win the game if you turn the ball over every other possession.
Right-hand corner, Daniels swings it left sideline for Thomas. Works off the pick from Fader. Now retreats to center court. They swing it right sideline for the long-range jump by Redfern off the back of the rim. No good, but the rebound is snared by Fader. Outside for Daniels. Down low for Kevin Allen, looking to back his way. Tipped out of his hands and out of bounds, so it'll be Atlantic City basketball. It remains 21-8. Inbound pass to Daniels, but it's intercepted by Taylor. Taylor one-on-one with Daniels. Underneath, looking for the cutting Barnes. Tapped out of bounds. Let's see who last touched it. Appears it's going to be Atlantic City.
Holy Spirit switching to a man-to-man look on defense now, and they almost have to. It's certainly early on, but you have to apply a little more ball pressure than what you've been to Atlantic City right now and try to force the Vikings over a little bit and try to get back into this ball game.
Williams replaces Redfern. Here's Middleton underneath to Taylor. Taylor for the reverse that is good. Along the left sideline, it's Daniels down the lane for the scoop, partially deflected by Jones and picked off by Summers. He races to the forecourt. Summers is down the lane. Summers is cut off, but he's called for traveling. Just got too deep there and didn't really know what to do with the basketball.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed early on in this game is that when Holy Spirit gets rebounds, they're ripping them down and they're putting the ball right on the court and just trying to dribble through the entire Atlantic City defense. Well, if you've seen the Vikings play, you know that even after they miss a shot, they're going to stay put and pressure you. So Holy Spirit right now needs to get those rebounds and try to look up, try to move the basketball with the pass instead of the dribble. We've seen so many times them turn it over that way.
Right-hand corner, it's Thomas. Spins down the lane. Has it rejected and out of bounds. Last touched by Holy Spirit. So we've seen some defense by Holy Spirit rejecting some of the shots by Atlantic City, and they're going to need a lot more of that. They trail at 21-10 with 5:08 left in this first half.
And where would the Spartans be without Jordan Taylor? He's basically all of their offense right now and most of their defense.
Kevin Allen, head of the key, with a step down the lane. Loses control, and it hits the top, the frame of the basket, so it'll be Holy Spirit basketball.
Interesting call there. You don't see that too often. You're right, he just lost the basketball on the way up is what they're saying and went off the basically the apparatus that the basket hangs from.
Here's Taylor with the inbound pass. A.J. Russo in the ball game for Holy Spirit. Left side, it's Barnes. Center court sends for Taylor. Taylor played by Daniels. Puts on the floor, left side lineup. Top it goes to Middleton. Dangerous pass there, nearly stolen by Williams. Here's Middleton driving the baseline, lays it home. Unofficially his first two of the ball game. Down the lane, here's Williams for the floater that is no good. Russo with the rebound. He hands the basketball to Middleton, 21-12. Middleton accelerates on Fader, and then he's called for turning the ball over, palming the basketball. The call.
Middleton knows it too, already pounding his chest saying that's on him, but in going back to the play before that where Middleton was able to get to the basket, that's going to be there. If the defender's up on you and you can make a first step and beat him, you're going to be able to get to the basket. Now the question is, do the Vikings defenders help? Do you kick the ball out? That previous time down the court, they did not help, and as a result, Middleton able to get the easy two.
Centino back in the ball game, replacing Williams. Down the lane, it's Allen. He has it rejected. Rebound by Taylor, gives off to Jones, looking for help to Middleton, right sideline. Sprints to the forecourt. Middleton for the floater. That is good. Had to get that one over the defense, and now Daniels down the other end for the fadeaway. That is no good, or the rebound snared by C.J. Barnes. He's to the forecourt in a hurry, and he's run into by Daniels. So a little bit of a run here by Holy Spirit. 21-14 the score now. They're down by 7.
And again, it's C.J. Barnes taking the business end of almost a football-like hit. You had a guy like Leon Daniels going over the middle, sniffing maybe a loose ball there. There really wasn't a loose ball. C.J. Barnes was in control of it, takes a huge shot, and again, he's a guy who Holy Spirit will need as this game goes on, but already taking quite a licking in this game.
Well, with 3:54 left in this first half of play, Atlantic City is over the limit. So that plays into the hands of Holy Spirit because they can score without any of the time working off the clock. And right here, Barnes will shoot. First is no good. On the one-on-one, Fader. I check that. Edelbach with the rebound. Gives off to Centino. Right sideline for Thomas. Down lane for Edelbach, and he is fouled. So he'll move to the free throw line, the 6'3 senior.
And here's the thing, Tony, about these Atlantic City role players when they get in the game. They don't come in the game just to spectate. They come in the game to make a difference. I mean, these are guys who earlier in the season, a guy like an Edelbach, a guy like a Fader, they played some bigger minutes before these transfers were eligible. So all of a sudden, yes, they're not playing as big of minutes, but they know how to play in those key spots. So they come in and try to make a difference. Like right here, we see Edelbach earn a trip to the line.
Misses the first, he will get another. Second is off the back of the rim, also no good. Gets his own rebound, but then loses control almost with a putback. Barnes now saves it to Middleton. To Barnes, cuts between two defenders as he moves it across. Nearly loses to Russo, right sideline. Right-hand corner finds Taylor. Drives the baseline underneath to Jones. He loses control, but saved by Middleton, and now he's called for steps.
I'll tell you what, Tony, I know that's probably the right call there. I hate that call at any level of basketball. Why penalize a guy when he dives on the floor? Give him the benefit of the doubt if he scoots, a foot or two in trying to grab the ball. Just, again, give him the benefit of the doubt. It's probably the right call. That is by the letter of the law, the rule there, but I'm always a guy that likes to see that rule get changed.
Well, it didn't look like he had possession when they called traveling. He was diving for the basketball, but that was the call. 21-14 it remains. 3:20 left, first half of play. Left sideline. Williams, center court. He lobs it for Thomas. Thomas will back off, looking to set up the offense. Left sideline for Williams. Watched by Russo. Center court, Redfern. Outside, Daniels. Holds the basketball, sends right sideline for Lamar Thomas. Works off the double pick to the head of the key. Now the pull-up jump. Yes.
Not an easy shot either there. That mid-range jumper, a hand in his face. But again, Lamar Thomas, such a sweet stroke there, and he knocks it down.
Here's Barnes. Spins away from the defense. Ahead from Middleton. Down the lane for the scoop. It is good, but they say no. He commits the offensive foul.
You know what? Not a lot of contact there, but probably the right call. Kevin Allen did have position. Middleton did go into him. The momentum carried him into Allen. Did Allen sell a little bit? Sure he did, but you know what? In the end, he did have position down low.
And unofficially, that's his third personal foul. That's serious right there. And now timeout call by Atlantic City. 2:41 left in this first half of play. 23-14 Atlantic City. The McMahon Insurance Agency of Ocean City, Moore and Mays Landing. Call them at 609-399-0060 or online at McMahonAgency.com. The coverage you need, the service you deserve. And Diorio's Circle Cafe and MacArthur Boulevard in Summers Point. Loaded with TVs at Diorio's to see your favorite game. Their wings and tenders voted best at the shore. Phone 609-927-6111 for takeout. And Shoppy's at 1031 Shore Road in Linwood and at Shoppy.com. You can select and design your own trophy or reward and order it online. Shoppy's also has a complete line of gifts. Shoppy since 1921. And the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Brian Bermel and his professional staff are waiting to serve you at Boardwalk Honda on Tilton Road in EHT. So 2:41 left in this first half of play. Atlantic City has led throughout. They lead it here 23-14.
You know, as bad as it's been turnover-wise for Holy Spirit, and trust me, it's been as bad as it gets so far in this game, give the Spartans a little bit of credit for trying to clamp down a little bit on defense. Atlantic City not exactly able to stretch that lead here in the second quarter. So although the Spartans are doing very little on offense, they're not giving up a ton right now to the Vikings on defense.
No question, they've only scored 2 points, Atlantic City, in this second quarter. So moving it out of the backcourt is Williams with a right-hand dribble, met by Russo as he veers to the left. Center court finds Redfern. Summers on him. Redfern holding the basketball. Steps to his left, now back the other way, leaves it for Thomas. Center court. Swings it left sideline for Williams. Williams, watched by Russo. Cross-court pass for Redfern. Penetrates for the scoop. It is no good. Rebound, no good. And it's lost out of bounds. Last touch by Holy Spirit. Believe Jones was the last to touch it.
A.J. Russo giving the Spartans some valuable minutes off the bench right now. Not doing any scoring, but a lot of hustle plays on defense.
And the inbound pass is stolen by Jones. Here's Summers. Redfern on him. Looking to move it across. A lot of contact, no whistle. Gives off to C.J. Barnes, left sideline. Barnes puts on the floor to the left baseline. Center court for Taylor. Taylor with a step back for the jumper. That is off the back of the rim, no good. And the rebound is taken by Thomas. Thomas sprints to the forecourt. Thomas to the head of the key. Thomas down the lane for the scoop. It is no good. And a blocking foul is called on Holy Spirit.
If you're Holy Spirit, you're not happy with that call because you think it's the exact same play that happened at the other end when Middleton got whistled for the charge, picking up his third foul.
So at the free throw line will be Lamar Thomas, 5'11" junior. Here's the first. It is good. Thomas with 10 to lead the Vikings. Second is also good. 25-14. Atlantic City again up by double digits. 1:41 remaining in this first half of play. Here's Summers. Just gets rid of it in time as defense was coming up behind him to steal it. And now the pushing foul called against Lamar Thomas, who doesn't like it, indicating that Barnes was pushing him, but that's not the way the ref saw it.
Holy Spirit's going to have to take advantage of some of these one-and-one situations, too. We saw Barnes miss the front end of a one-and-one a couple minutes ago. You're down by 11 in this ball game. You need all the points you can get right now, and these are some freebies at the free throw line.
1:38 remain in this first half of play. C.J. Barnes looked to cut into that lead. Here's the first. Good.
And again, not easy to shoot free throws when you're really laboring at both ends of the floor. I don't think Barnes has been on the bench yet. We've mentioned he's gotten tossed around a little bit, been on the floor a number of times, gotten knocked down. So it's tough to gain your composure sometimes, but he's able to do it there at the line.
He gets another. And he hits them both. So big free throws. 25-16 now. Williams with 1:30 left. As Atlantic City spreads out the floor. Russo on Williams. Williams is down the lane. Right-hand corner sends for Allen for the jumper. That is good for three.
He's a very underrated three-point shooter, and now that's the second time we've seen him knock one down from the outside. And certainly if you leave him open, he's very capable of stroking it.
28-16, and Lamar Thomas, check that, Redfern, pardon me, picks up personal in the backcourt. His second. And C.J. Barnes again moves to the free throw line. Yeah, one thing about Atlantic City, I mean, you know that they can play basketball taking it to the rack. But when they start getting that perimeter game going, very difficult to beat them.
And that's what they had in those back-to-back state title runs, and maybe to a certain degree what they were lacking a little bit last season, although Isaiah Graves was very deadly from the outside. But you're right, they maybe didn't have that complement of guys across the board that could knock down the three like they do this year, like they had a couple years ago during that second state championship run.
Makes the first, does Barnes. Of course, I don't think you could say Atlantic City can depend night in and night out on the perimeter game being as good as it is tonight, but it's there against Holy Spirit. The second is good. So checking in for Holy Spirit will be Toner. Check that, Travis Stoll, pardon me.
Yeah, another freshman earning some big-time varsity minutes here in front of a sold-out house.
Yeah, he's played well. Both he and Gallagher have played well in their opportunities. Williams with a step. Sends left-hand corner to Centino outside for Daniels. 1 minute left in the first half. Daniels right in front of our broadcast location to Thomas. Steps to his left, looking to accelerate on Barnes. Moves it to center court. Sends left sideline for Williams.
You know, Tony, this could be in honor of the late Dean Smith, of course, North Carolina coach passing away this week. Atlantic City running that four corners offense that Smith really started.
Left-hand corner, Centino on the drive. Has it rejected and knocked out of bounds by Jones. And he can do that. Had great success against the Vikings, blocking shots in that first meeting. So 37 seconds left now. Centino to trigger. Looking in, continues to look. Far outside and hits Stoll, and he steals it. With 35 seconds, a great move, and he has it stolen away, so Atlantic City gets it right back. And they say stepping on the line. So Holy Spirit.
The freshman,
check that. Yeah.
Sorry, Tony. The freshman Stoll did everything right there. He was playing face guard defense, able to come away with the steal, drive to the basket, sort of just lost his footing on the way up there, and then Atlantic City so athletic, the defender was able to swoop in.
Inbound pass to Barnes. Barnes backing his way, now retreats. So they'll play for one here. Watched by Thomas, right side. Off the pick from Jones. Picked up on the switch by Allen. Underneath to the cutting Jones. Check that. Taylor, pardon me. Lays it home. Great look there by Barnes. And the scoop and the hit by Taylor. 7 seconds left. Here's Williams. Loses control. Stolen by Jones. Ahead for Taylor with 2 seconds for the reverse. That is no good at the buzzer. But Holy Spirit putting on a little bit of a spurt there at the end of the first half of play to crawl to within 8 points. They trail it 28-20, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Absolutely. I think if you're Holy Spirit right now, you're thrilled at the score, especially based on how poorly you played during stretches of that first quarter, even early in the second quarter. But we talked about it a few minutes ago, Tony. On a night when you maybe don't have it going offensively, on a night when you're turning the ball over, at least you have to clamp down on D, and that's what the Spartans did in that second quarter. And as you mentioned, just an 8-point game now at the half.
They outscored Atlantic City, did Holy Spirit, 12-7. In that second quarter. Well, are you hungry for a melt-in-your-mouth pot roast or meatloaf just like Mom used to make? Then after the game, head over to Egg Harbor Township's Golden Corral. They've got all of your home-style favorites from fried chicken and mashed potatoes to oven-fresh yeast rolls and chocolate waterfall that flows all day, every day. Plus, they added sirloin steak fillets to their endless buffet every day after 4 p.m. You'll find it all at Golden Corral, located at 6725 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township, right in front of Moscov's. Or let Golden Corral cater your next tailgate party. Simply call 609-272-8171 and experience Golden Corral Catering today. Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Connect with Brian Bemel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook. Once again, halftime, 28-20. Atlantic City leads Holy Spirit. Right now, we're going to step aside for a few minutes, and then we'll be back with more Holy Spirit at Atlantic City on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Right now, hearing about Monday night. Trial. Call 1-800-504-1927. Because of our poor diet and polluted environment, toxins and waste build up inside us, and that's how we feel. In fact, many doctors believe sluggish digestion is the #1 reason we feel tired and lethargic. So cleanse your body with unique herbal formula of probiotics. Call now for your free full-size trial so you can feel healthy and energetic. 1-800-504-1927. That's 1-800-504-1927. 1-800-504-1927.
I didn't chop a cherry tree down, but I cannot tell a lie. Pete Polino from Sport Hyundai Dodge here, ready to do President's Day right by saving you some dead presidents. We have great deals from today until the end of the month with our best promotion at significant Sonata Elantra for only $250 down and $250 a month. You heard right, your choice only $250 down and $250 a month. No gimmicks or games. Only $250 down and $250 a month. Stop wasting money on repairs on that old clunker from Ford 4 and 7 years ago. Let Ford give you top dollar for it. That's right. Ford will give you a minimum of $2,000 for your old car before you purchase any new car. So come in today and see more good tech programs in your life. Come in now and drive home today on your new car, and we'll wait on you past the time.
Once again, Holy Spirit Boys Basketball with the Box Club. Sporting Council sponsor tonight's game ticket and the Lucky Fan halftime shot. On the back of every fan ticket is a coupon for Sports Camp MVP experience, free for new clients. Get to enjoy a precision haircut while watching sports, followed by legendary hot towel, facing the solid shampoo.
Okay, it's 5:45 on the clock right now, so that's fine. That'll work out.
Just listen for the comeback to break.
The opener?
Yeah, I'll play the opener.
Yeah, play the opener. Okay, good enough.
We got a couple minutes still? Couple minutes to go?
Maybe even take a test drive. While you're there, drop off a note to help the children.
Holding up so far.
Here's some great news for RV owners and RV shoppers who missed the Atlantic City RV Show. White Horse RV Center, New Jersey's #1 RV dealer, has extended their show prices, so you still have time to take advantage of the enormous savings on all their RVs. With over 350 RVs in stock, you're at the price of purchase RV for your lifestyle, and at a fantastic price. White Horse RV has 2 locations, Route 42 in Williamstown and Route 30 in Galloway. For more information, visit White Horse RV online at whitehorserv.com.
You remember that moment like it was yesterday. Your eyes met from across the street, and from that moment, it was love at first sight. Now, as the years progress, you still love her, but her exterior has become cracked, faded, and warped. Fall in love with your home all over again with the help of Seashore Construction. For more than 30 years, they've restored beauty to homes all over southern New Jersey. They're experts in all types of exterior renovations and repairs, from roofing, siding, and decks, to windows, doors, and even solar energy systems. With Seashore Construction, your home is getting more than just a facelift. Seashore gets to the root of the problem by using quality materials and craftsmanship to ensure your home stays beautiful for years to come. That's why they have an 8 rating and a...
Tony? Tony.
New Garcinia to anyone looking to lose the maximum amount of weight. To experience the most dramatic weight loss, you must be over 25 and want to lose more than 30 pounds. Call now for your free full-size trial. 1-800-757-2104. A famous doctor called Garcinia Cambogia the holy grail of weight loss. And it's no wonder why. New Garcinia Cambogia is so powerful,
Talk. Check, check. Mic check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Mic check.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2. We're not even at 9 o'clock, so that should be fine.
All right.
All right, welcome back to Holy Spirit. Atlantic City leading it 28-20 at halftime, but as we mentioned in the first half, Holy Spirit fortunate not to be trailing by a whole lot more than 8 points.
Absolutely, Tony. And for Holy Spirit, I think Tyler Jones is a guy who really needs to step up in the second half. I think it's at the half. He's a guy who really, if you look at the court, he's the tallest guy on the court. So you'd figure he'd have the advantage down low. Now, as we mentioned, AC featuring Kevin Allen. He's a guy who certainly knows how to throw his weight around down low. So it's not going to be easy for Tyler if Holy Spirit's going to come all the way back in this game. They're certainly going to need contributions from him. They'll probably need Matt Summers to hit a couple of timely buckets, whether it's a 3, mid-range 2, and John Middleton, another guy who got in some foul trouble there, and then all of a sudden, even before the foul trouble, not really getting into the flow offensively, just a couple of layups to speak of. So Middleton's a big-time player. They're going to need him to step up on this big-time stage. And if you're now, you have to be thrilled with the way you jumped out of the gate if you're Gene Allen, but all of a sudden in that second quarter, maybe the decisions weren't as great on the offensive end. The shot selection maybe not as good as it was in the first half, and maybe defensively not as active. So I think if you're Gene Allen, if you're Atlantic City, you look to try and get back to certainly that style of play that you got out in the first half, in the first
thing that you've got to hope if you're a Holy Spirit fan is that Kevin Allen and Lamar Thomas are not going to be as hot from the outside with the threes, especially with Kevin Allen. I mean, okay, we can live with him doing his business down low, but if he's going to hit threes, it's going to be tough.
Well, we talked about it. He's a guy who has a nice stroke from the outside, and certainly if you leave him open, he can knock it down. And, you know, all the guys have the green light from Gene Allen. If you're open, take the shot. And he's certainly a player, Kevin Allen, that can stroke it. So even though he's the big guy, he's the guy that plays down low, you have to put a body on him when he's behind that arc.
So here's Thomas with the inbound pass. Hand corner guard. Center court for Redfern. Atlantic City will set them in just a moment. Right side, Thomas. Works off the pick from Redfern. The scoop. No good. Short rebound to Summers. Ahead it goes to Middleton. He's 1-on-2 down the lane for the scoop. That is no good, but he was fouled on the play. Middleton, the pass found him, and he's able to draw. A
little bit of foul trouble. Just go attack the rim. I mean, your team's down by 8 points. You haven't done a ton offensively. You have a chance on the run to either get to the line or sink a layup there, and you go ahead and you do it.
So John Middleton, the 6'4" senior, with the first. It's good. Santino off the bench, replacing Prevard.
Prevard's third foul too, so certainly something to keep an eye on, although as we've sort of hammered home here, Atlantic City with a lot more depth, they can afford to lose a guy or two with some foul trouble.
Middleton with a second. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Redfern snares the rebound. He sprints to the forecourt. One hops to the cutter, but it's intercepted by Taylor. Ahead it goes to Middleton. They break 2-on-1 underneath to Barnes, but in back of Barnes. Fortunately for them, it's tapped. Atlantic City had the perfect setup there on the 2-on-1, but Aaron. But they get the basketball back.
And that's the situation there where, you know, you have Middleton driving to the basket. Kevin Allen may be trying to set up for that charge, and Middleton has 3. So in the back of his mind, he's thinking, well, this might not be the right time to go to the bucket.
Outside Summers, head of the free throw line. Jones has it poked away and stolen by Daniels. Daniels zigzagging across the midcourt line to the baseline. Now the pull up for the short jump. It's short. Rebound to Taylor. He starts out. Taylor, 2-on-2. Taylor down the lane for the reverse that is good, and he was fouled on the play.
Boy, Jordan Taylor came to play tonight, and starting the second half just like he started the first half, really being the catalyst for the Spartans on offense in that first quarter. He was able to knock down a couple threes, and here we go in the second half. Very aggressive move to the bucket there. Not an easy finish, but he pulls it off and draws the foul.
Yeah, had to get some reverse spin on the basketball as he laid it home. Off the back of the rim on the free throw. So now looking to save it along the left sideline is Williams, and hit the deck hard. Little pain there for Jamal Williams. The 6-foot junior is being helped to his feet, but looks like the right side of his right leg giving him some trouble. So now the turnover by Atlantic City, and now Holy Spirit making a run here. And as we said, when you're trailing against a good team, first part of that third quarter, as most coaches, that's going to be the key as to whether you're going to get back in it or not.
You know what, if my mind serves me right here, if I remember correctly, I think these two teams got together for the second time last year right after a snowstorm. Of course, a lot of snow on the ground outside, a ton of people in the gym tonight. Of course, at halftime, people are moving around the outside of the court. The staff here are trying to do their best to keep those people on the outside of the court, but inevitably there's not a lot of room between the bleachers and the court, so you have some footsteps on that court, and I think that was the situation there. A little bit of water on the court there, and the player takes a spill. So the crew is sort of mopping it up right now, and hopefully that doesn't happen again, because as you mentioned, it happened right in front of us. Jamal Williams taking a nasty spill there.
Summers to toss in. It comes to Taylor, right sideline. Taylor puts on the floor and retreats against Daniels. Now leaves it for Middleton. Middleton watched by Williams. Again, the big size advantage for Middleton. Up high it goes for Jones. Watched by Allen. He backs his way and loses control. It's saved, but right into the hands of Thomas. A 2-on-2 break. Thomas leaves it underneath for Daniels. Puts it up, no good, but he was fouled on the play. Jones, you can see the difference between the 6'6 Jones and the 6'6 Taylor. Jones, not really that adept at handling the basketball, pardon me.
No, he's not, and sort of an awkward fast break there for Atlantic City, and give the Vikings credit, it results in a couple free throws from Leon Daniels, but a 2-on-1 break, Lamar Thomas almost came to a complete stop before he laid it off, and then Daniels really had to force the issue there, but he's able to draw enough contact and get to the line.
So Daniels hits his 4th point, and of course I'm sure Atlantic City very happy to be shooting free throws down this end of the court.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with that stage human banana guy in a dress situation down the other end. The rowdy fans here for Holy Spirit tonight. Not a ton to cheer about, though, for them in the first half.
Second, no good, but Williams with a putback. Jamal Williams. So now 31-23. Down court, the save. Now the scoop is no good by Jones. And he'll move to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
See, that's the situation there. Tyler Jones, what do they list him at? 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and a beautiful fast break developing, and then Jones goes up and tries to finger roll it in. If you're that size down low, you go up with two hands, try to dunk it, or at least go up strong and lay it in around the rim.
First is good by Jones. He is 6'6", but a junior. He'll be back next year. The second is in, out, and then back in again. 31-25 AC. Right sideline, Santino was checked in for the Vikings. Santino is double teamed, cuts between two defenders. Right-hand corner, Allen puts on the floor. Right side of the lane, has it rejected by Jones. They call a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Holy Spirit.
To be fair, if I'm asking for Tyler Jones to be tougher at one end of the floor, he certainly was tough enough on the defensive end there, going toe-to-toe there with Kevin Allen and forcing the jump ball.
He can play defense, no question, and he has an ability to block shots. Up court, it's Barnes. Barnes down the lane for the scoop that is no good, but he is bumped as he traveled down the lane. It'll be a non-shooting affair, but one thing you want to take a look at there, Mike, right? Already Atlantic City with 6:08 remaining in this third quarter has 4 team fouls. That could really be something to take a look at when they go down the stretch.
Spirit could be in that 1-and-1 here by the end of the third quarter.
Inbounding, Jones looking, comes to Middleton right side for the pull-up. That is good.
Big time shot there by John Middleton, and it's a shot that came off a set play there. It was by design that Middleton would pop open behind a screen. No doubt about it. He pulls the trigger, knocks it down.
Thomas down low to Santino, cuts in and lays it home. First two for Centino, the transfer from Pleasantville. Driving the left side of the lane is Jones off the feed from Taylor, and he's fouled again. So Jones back-to-back trips to the free throw line.
Starting to see some players really slip along those edges, along the baselines, along the sidelines here. And we talked about it. People moving around at the half, a lot of wet soles on the bottom of some shoes here. And seeing that student section wipe up some water below the basket right now. So not only can they distract free throw shooters, they can help out on the court, Tony.
Multi-talented. Jones hits the first. And it looks like Holy Spirit trying to, or at least it appears to us, to get Jones more involved.
Absolutely, you have to. It's something we talked about coming out of the half there. He's got the size down low. He's only a junior, but he's played in some big-time games already this season, obviously, with the schedule the Spartans have played. So he's a guy that has to come up big.
Barnes, it appears, gets the tip and puts it back. Right-hand corner, loose for the jumper that is good for three by Ryan Fader, left alone, and he made them pay.
Just his first attempt of the game, and he makes it count. Again, we've talked about it. Guys like Fader playing big minutes earlier in the season. Those minutes aren't there, but they're still counted on.
Here's Barnes down the lane for the scoop that's no good. Rebounded, though, by Taylor. Center court, Middleton. Middleton underneath finds Jones, and again gets the feed from Middleton, and he's fouled on the play. So 3 times in a row, Jamie must have designed or talked to the team and said, we got to get Tyler Jones involved in the offense, and they have.
And all of a sudden, Jones finding his swagger a little bit, playing a lot tougher down low. That time he was double teamed, but he doesn't lose the basketball. He's able to go up with it and draw the foul.
Now 16 fouls on Atlantic City, so the next one they'll be over the limit. We still have 5:12 left in the third. Second also good. 36-32, a 4-point advantage now for the Vikings. They've led it all the way. Right side, it's Redfern. Cross court to Thomas. Left-hand corner, Daniels outside Thomas. Operates left side. 4:58 remaining, third quarter. Thomas just holding the basketball. Now retreats a few steps, watched by Barnes. Continues his dribble to the right side. Double team. Leaves it for Williams. Cross court pass for Fader. Center court for Redford. Watched by Middleton. Waving his teammates around is Redford. Veers right. Sends right sideline for Williams. Watched by Summers. Has trouble with the dribble and loses control. See if it was knocked out of his hands. And it was. So the Vikings maintain possession. They'll inbound from the far sideline. Williams to toss. Comes to Redfern. Redfern played by Middleton at center court. Sends right sideline for Williams. Watched by Summers. Center court, Daniels. Played tightly by Jones, and Jones with a reach in. Didn't like it. Picks up the personal.
Yeah, that's a tough call there, Tony. I'm not sure. You had Jordan Taylor really bodying up Leon Daniels there. Looked for a second like Daniels almost walked with the basketball. Taylor didn't really lean in too much further at that point, but it still comes away. He picks up the foul.
Now, thus far, they've controlled Daniels, who's been their leading scorer probably the last 3 or 4 games. Only has 4 points. Here's Thomas driving the lane, and he floats it home. Check that. Was that Redfern?
That was Williams that time. Williams. It was coming off of a possession previously where he almost lost the ball out of bounds, and Gene Allen was really in his face about it. And I looked over there, and Williams saying, "Relax, coach, I got this." And it pays off there with a trip to the bucket and a finish.
Here's Middleton driving the lane. Underneath to the cutter, that's Jones, and Jones with a reverse that is good.
A lot of contact on that play as well, and it wasn't with Jones near the rim. It was off of the pass there. He had a couple of Vikings on the ground, no call, and as a result, Jones gets the finish.
So Jones has really come on in this third quarter. Had 2 points at halftime, has 9. So 7 points in this third quarter, and they needed it. Inbound pass to Thomas with 3:35 left third quarter. 38-34. Stolen the game for Holy Spirit. Thomas sends left side for Daniels. Daniels watched by Taylor. Center court. Leaves it right sideline. for Redfern. Redfern puts on the floor, leaves it right side for Daniels. A long-range jump is no good. Fader looking for the stuff on the follow, no good. But now Williams gets the tip and puts it back home.
I think the 9 players other than Fader were so amazed by what Ryan Fader almost just pulled off and led to an easy rebound and finish there by Williams.
And now Middleton is double teamed, looks to spin away and cut between both of them, both of the defenders, and he's called for steps. So Williams will toss in from the near sideline. And it comes to Thomas. 40-34 with 2:57 remaining in the third. Thomas, left side for Daniels. Daniels puts on the floor. Daniels drives the lane, and Daniels is bumped as he travels down the lane, a non-shooting affair.
We've seen Atlantic City almost try and slow things down to a crawl on offense. I'm not sure that's really their game, trying to take the air out of the basketball here. I'm sure it's not a clock kill situation. We still are in the third quarter, but, you know, Atlantic City likes to get up and down a little bit. That's their game, but sort of slowing it down here in the third.
So here's Redfern center court. Leaves it for Daniels left side. Again, watched by Taylor, who's picked up 2 fouls here in the third. The dribble. Fires left-hand corner for Williams. Underneath to the cutting Redfern. That's no good. And the rebound to Jones. Jones leaves it for Taylor. Lobs ahead for Middleton. Spins down the lane for the scoop. That is no good. But he was fouled on the play. Nice spin move there as he spun away from the defender and drew the personal.
And Middleton, we've talked about it, has to be so careful every time he goes to the basket. You're thinking about making a basketball move, and it would come natural just to attack every time. But with those 3 fouls, it's that extra little thought process. Do I make the play here? Do I, push the issue here? And that time he's fortunate, doesn't draw the offensive foul, and he goes to the line for 2.
Here's the first. It is good. Middleton with 8, looks for the second. 2:23 left in this third quarter of play. 40-35. Here's the second. It is good. Checking in Barnes and Summers, replacing Middleton and Gallagher, so they might want to sit Middleton for the last 2:23 to preserve him relating to those 3 personals.
Absolutely, not too early for some offense-defense now if the opportunity presents itself, and as you mentioned, try to preserve him with those 3 fouls going into the fourth quarter.
So here's Williams stepping to the forecourt, watched by Stoll, directing traffic, setting the offense, accelerates on Stoll, right side. Now he's back to center court. 2 minutes left in this third. Williams accelerates. Williams outside for Daniels. They're spreading it out here, looking to slow down the offense. This is, as you mentioned, very uncharacteristic of Atlantic City.
It's that 4 corners offense and just daring people to match up on the dribble right now.
Daniels down the lane, no good on the scoop, and it's rebounded by Jones, taken by Summers, nearly loses control. Behind the back against Redfern as he moves it across. Down low, though, throws it away. What, is it saved? Yes, it's saved by Taylor on a great move, and now tipped out of bounds by Redfern. So Taylor saving the day.
That Summers putting on a display there on the dribble, then all of a sudden at the last second, had an open man down low, and he chose to go with the no-look pass. And as you mentioned, almost thrown away, but Stoll able to save it, and Spartans very fortunate to maintain possession of the basketball.
1:29 left in this third quarter. The Spartans an opportunity to close to within 2. And a whistle as Jamie Gillespie calls time. Gene Allen comes over to say a few things, and now has to be restrained by his own players. I mean, nothing in the way of physical contact, but he had some objection to Jamie Gillespie calling the timeout, or was it something that I didn't see?
No, I think it was some kind of objection with the Holy Spirit bench or a player on that bench, because Gene came over right near that area, and it wasn't a talking to the official situation. He was trying to get in the ear of someone on that bench. Again, we're on the other side of the court, didn't hear what happened, but not the finest moment there for Atlantic City.
Skelly's High Point Pub is at Shore Road on the White Horse Pike in Absecon. Best in food and drink available to you every day. They deliver too. Phone the High Point 641-3172 for takeout or delivery. Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Connect with Brian Brummel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook. And the Heist Agency with convenient offices in Ocean City, Margate, Agrupa Township, Marmora, and Vineland. You'll also find them online at heistagency.com. Remember, Thomas H. Heist when you need insurance. And just 4 wheels on the White Horse Pike in Absecon. That's Pike in Absecon, Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood, Route 50 in Mays Landing, and Perry Egan 16th and Simpson in Ocean City. Be smart. Rent at just 4 wheels.
Gene Allen coming over to apologize now to Jamie Gillespie. Good sportsmanship here at midcourt as the two shake hands. Whatever was going on now looks to certainly have been handled.
So the inbound pass comes to Barnes, operates left side. 1:19 remain, third quarter. Holy Spirit down, 40-36. One hop right sideline for Summers. Returns to Barnes, swing it left sideline for Taylor. Taylor nearly threw it away, but able to rescue down low to Taylor with the follow that is no good, and the rebound is tied up. Redfern got it, but Stoll ties him up, but possession arrow this time goes to Atlantic City, and Jones missed an easy one.
Yeah, you don't get too many shots in this game where they're uncontested, and you know sometimes those shots can be a little too easy, if that makes sense, Tony. You're used to that contact down low, and when there's no contact, you know it's almost like you don't know what to do down there.
First one was contested, but the putback was not. Fader, left-hand corner, and a whistle. Check that. That was Edenbach. Pardon me. So Edelbach draws the personal foul and non-shooting again. Checking back in is Gallagher, replacing Stoll for Holy Spirit. Centino replaces Edelbach. 39.8 seconds remain. Third quarter. Inbounding Redford. Comes to Thomas with 36 seconds remaining in this third quarter of play. Thomas, center court. Watched by Barnes. Accelerates to the free throw line. Left-hand corner for Fader. Puts on the floor. Sprints to center court. Continues the dribble. They work the weave here. Now here's Redfern, center court with 18 seconds remaining. Redfern played by Taylor. Knocks it away. Picks it up. Has it stolen, but then recaptures. Here's Gallagher, left-hand corner with 7 seconds remaining. Gallagher, set, shoots, no good off the back rim, and the rebound comes down to Williams for the long-range jumper that is no good. But it was the third quarter that Holy Spirit came back big time, and they now trail it 40-35. Atlantic City maintains the lead, but just by 5 points. Game brought to you with the best wishes of everyone at Calvi Electric and Atlantic City, who encourage you to get out and support your favorite high school team each and every week. Jersey Mike's has a great menu of sandwiches in the ShopRite Center in Summers Point. Choose from an assortment of hot and cold subs. Open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Phone 609-653-3000 for Jersey Mike's. And Johnson's Popcorn is at 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn since 1940. And the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week produced by Prime Events, 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're paying top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com.
Holy Spirit just chipping away after that first quarter, Tony. They were down 21-8 after one. All of a sudden, just a 4-point game. You don't get back into games like this with one spurt. They've been very steady since that point. We've seen Atlantic City sort of switch philosophies on offense, going to that four corners look in that second quarter, maintaining that look in the third quarter. They're basically daring the Spartans to match up one-on-one. And although, you know, a lot of times across the board, Spirit can't match up with AC one-on-one, AC not necessarily getting the best shots out of that offense.
Holy Spirit has outscored Atlantic City 27-19 in the last 2 quarters after trailing at 21-8 after one. So Holy Spirit will have the basketball as the officials are holding up play near the student section. Asking someone to put his shoes on, it looks like. Still a delay. Holy Spirit outscored Atlantic City 15-12 in that third quarter. 40-36. 8 minutes left. Taylor to trigger. Comes to Summers. Leaves it for Middleton. So Middleton was able to survive that third quarter without picking up another personal. Still has those three. Watched by Brevard. Behind the back down the lane. And a whistle. So Middleton will move to the free throw line to shoot the one-on-one.
Brevard with 3 fouls as well tonight, Tony. It's not a name we've called very often tonight. Certainly one of the regular contributors for Atlantic City, but he got in some early foul trouble. All of a sudden, when he came back in the game, got in more foul trouble. So not as important that he stays on the court, but certainly a guy that AC likes to rely on in crunch time.
So Middleton with the 1-1. First is good. Middleton with 10. 6'4" senior being recruited, as we've mentioned, for that Division I basketball in college and hits them both. Certainly has the size, as you said, to play guard at the next level.
Absolutely. Combo guard, will play some point, probably play some two as well. And yeah, really good size and a good slasher he projects as at the college level.
So here's Thomas, 40-38. Closest Holy Spirit has been in a long time. Thomas accelerates on Barnes with a step. Left-hand corner for the jumper by Daniels off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound snared by Middleton. Leads Summers ahead of everybody down the lane for the scoop. And he's good! And he was fouled on the play. So Holy Spirit has come all the way back, and they can take the lead here as Summers gets his first two of the game and can give Holy Spirit the lead.
Summers goes down in a heap, too. He knew he was going to take a lot of contact there. He knew the footing on the landing was anything but sure, but still going up with some courage, laying it in, drawing the foul, and really getting into the scoring column, I believe, for the first time. He's a guy who was a little bit quiet in that first half there, but coming through here.
Free throw no good, but the rebound is taken by Barnes. Gives off to Taylor. Taylor cuts in, and it's no good, but the follow is good by Taylor. Stayed with it and dropped it home. 42-40, Holy Spirit. Daniels, free throw line. Had a notion, just didn't want to take it. He was free, but instead sent outside for Williams. 6:50 left in this ball game. Williams underneath to the cutting Allen, and he drops it home. Great look there by Williams, and Allen finished.
That four quarters offense almost turned into a 3-on-1 break there. He had Williams in the lane, had two options down low, decided to dump it off to Kevin Allen. As you mentioned, a great look.
Racing up court is C.J. Barnes, and appears that he lost the basketball out of bounds, and it'll be Atlantic City basketball as Russo checks in. Gallagher sits down. So inbounding from the near sideline, Atlantic City. Brevard to Thomas. He's just holding the basketball, now puts on the floor as he steps to his right. Continues the dribble. Up high for Williams, watched by Russo. Left side for Brevard, who's been very quiet in this game. Down low to Allen, cuts in, and no good. The follow, no good, and the rebound taken by Allen, and now see if they call it a tie-up. Do they? There was a whistle, but I didn't see what it was.
I think the one official from behind wanted to call a foul. I think he was overruled by the official on the baseline, and that really is his call. It certainly looked like there was some contact from behind, but in the end, it is a jump ball. Atlantic City will keep possession either way.
So Redfern will replace Williams, and inbounding will be Brevard. Looking, continues to look. It comes to Allen deep in the left-hand corner. Outside sends for Daniels. Puts on the floor with a step. He's down the lane, and he is fouled on the play. Check that. No, they call the offensive foul on Daniels. Interesting there is he did get past his defender, but there was someone waiting for him, and he picks up the charge.
A.J. Russo drawing the charge there, and that could be a result of this offense Atlantic City is running right now. To describe it, it's very simple. You have 4 players at the corner of the court. You have one guy handling the ball up top. The goal is for that guy to beat his man off the dribble, and that happens. But when that does happen, you're going to have defenders collapse. So do you take it to the basket? Do you kick it to the corner for 3? That time, Daniels takes it to the basket, but A.J. Russo was waiting to draw the charge.
Inbound pass to Middleton. All tied at 42. Middleton underneath to Jones. Jones strong but short. The rebound to Allen, loses control, out of bounds. Last touched by Atlantic City.
I still like Tyler Jones going up with that shot. Excuse me, Tony. It's 2-on-1 down there, but Jones has the size. Sure, that time he was blocked, but I still like the aggressiveness there. Go up with the shot, try to make it, try to draw the foul.
Now some discussion on the court as to whose basketball it actually is. Seems Holy Spirit will retain possession. Tyler Jones very animated in his insistence. Hey, wait a minute. Inbound pass to Middleton. Middleton watched by Brevard. A lot of contact there, but no call. Here's Middleton, puts on the rebound, though, to Russo. Center court, Barnes, jumper, no good. Rebound, out of bounds. And last touch by Holy Spirit on the shot by Barnes. He was loose, wide open.
He was wide open. Another situation where I don't think he expected to be that wide open. I'm not sure he's attempted a 3 tonight. Certainly not one that uncontested. And again, situation maybe being too wide open.
So here's Thomas. He has a step. He's down the lane, no good. And the rebound to Barnes. Holy Spirit breaks quickly. Barnes is down the lane. Barnes for the scoop. No good. Overshot off glass. And the rebound to Allen. Up court it goes to Redfern for the scoop. It is no good. Rebound taken by Taylor. Taylor in a sprint. He's to the sideline. He's going to slow it down here. Leaves it for Russo. They swing it right side for Barnes. Barnes watched by Redfern as he retreats. Cuts to his left. Now back the other way for Taylor. To his left. Outside. Looking for Middleton, but it's stolen by Atlantic City. Up court to Redfern for the scoop. It is good, and a block, and it counts, and he'll move to the free throw line.
C.J. Barnes almost got caught in between there as the defensive player. You have to make a decision. Do you go up and try to foul the guy? Do you run by? Distract him. He didn't fully run by him, got in the way. As a result, Atlantic City has a chance for a 3-point play.
They're up 44-42. And Redfern will look to complete the 3-point play. Second foul on C.J. Barnes, team foul number 6. So the next one, Holy Spirit will be over the limit. Of course, Atlantic City already in the double bonus with 10. Free throw is no good, and the rebound is saved by Redfern. So Atlantic City with another chance here. Kevin Allen along the left sideline puts on the floor. Now retreats. Played by Jones. The center court. Bringing Jones away from the basket. Switching hands on the dribble. 4:15 left, 44-42. Atlantic City down the lane is Kevin Allen, and a whistle, another block on Holy Spirit, and this one will put them over the limit, so Atlantic City will be shooting Kevin Allen.
Again, it's out of that four corners offense, but that's the first time we've seen Kevin Allen as the ball handler. So someone decided that, hey, Kevin Allen maybe can take Tyler Jones off the dribble, and it paid off there because that's exactly what he was able to do.
Timeout on the court with 4:13 left in this ball game. 44-42 Atlantic City. Well, you need a sign? Well, then you need Captain Charlie. Captain Charlie at Blue Water Graphics creates signs for real estate and other businesses. You can reach Blue Water Graphics at 609-823-8891. Signs, banners, vehicles, windows, whatever lettering you need. Phone Captain Charlie 9-1 for Blue Water. And Shore True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you will continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. Shore Hardware open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 7 p.m., Saturdays till 6, Sundays 8 till 4. Help just around the corner at Shore True Value Hardware, 515 New Road, Summers Point. Phone 609-927-6464 or visit them online at shorehardware.com. So briefly, Holy Spirit took a 2-point lead, but Atlantic City now back up by 2, 44-42.
Obviously, possessions matter that much more down the stretch, Tony. Basketball in this game, less than Atlantic City, but it's a situation now where those turnovers are really going to cost you in a 2-point ball game with 4 minutes to go. So, maybe some of those wild plays we saw earlier on in the first half, some of these players would think twice before trying that pass or trying that shot.
So here's Kevin Allen at the free throw line. He'll be shooting the 1 and the 1. Allen, the 6'4 senior, he, like Lamar Thomas, has been playing a lot of years for Atlantic City. Here's the first. It is good. 15 now for Kevin Allen. Leads Atlantic City and all scores in this game. He will get one more. And he hits them both. 46-42. 4:13 left. Inbound pass from Gallagher. Comes to Taylor. Watched by Thomas. Steals it away. Here's Daniels down the lane, and he's fouled by Gallagher.
Atlantic City, Tony, going back to that full court pressure there, and they may have used it in spurts, but they really hadn't gone to it continuously since that first quarter, where, as we all know, they were able to turn the Spartans over time and time again. So Gene Allen sort of putting back on that really intense full court pressure here in the late stages of the game, and it pays off there.
Daniels at the free throw line. First is good. 5 points for Daniels. He's been held relatively in check, but Allen and Thomas have picked up the slack.
AC with a lot of guys that can get it done in the scoring column on any given night.
Second is no good, and the rebound comes down to Middleton. Middleton, played by Centino, operates left side as he moves it across. Sends left sideline for Summers. Watched by Pravard. Summers to the baseline for the scoop. It is good. Got the step and the floater. Nicely done there by Matt Summers.
Really a nifty move. We don't see him try to go to the basket too often, more of a three-point shooter, but that's twice now that he's able to get to the bucket and score.
Here's Thomas, head of the key, sends left side for Daniels. 47-44. The Vikings maintain the lead. Thomas, right side. Cross court for Daniels. Lobs it to Thomas, center court. Calls out a set play. Puts on the floor. Sends left sideline for Centino. Left-hand corner, Pavard. No good on the jumper, and the rebound is pulled away by Jordan Taylor. Up court. Center court leaves it for Middleton. Watched by Centino. Middleton for the pull-up. That is banked home. Don't know if he called it that way, but he'll take it.
Banks open late on Wednesday nights in Absecon, Tony. That must be the situation there.
3:01 left in this ball game. 47-46. Atlantic City leads it. Signal Graphics on Tilton Road, Lake Harbor Township is your local commercial printer with personal service you expect. Signal's state-of-the-art equipment and expert printing staff allows them to produce an excellent product for a very low cost. For a fast turnaround and great prices, call the Gunnels. Riley K. or Chris, 609-569-9990. And for special service, ask for Chugger at Signal Graphics. And Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 16th of the Boardwalk in Ocean City. Visit them online at Gillian's Gallery on Asbury Avenue at downtown Gillian's. Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car and they're paying top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com. Always nice to talk about Gillian's Wonderland Pier with all the stuff going on outside.
Yeah, 4 to 6 inches of snow on the ground, but we can dream of summer, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, here's the situation. 3:01 left in this ball game. It's 47-46 Atlantic City on top here from Holy Spirit.
And you just had this feeling, Tony, even though Atlantic City was way out in front early, this matchup between the Vikings and the Spartans always seems to come down to just a couple of plays in the fourth quarter.
Here's Thomas. Underneath finds Daniels for the stuff. He was about 40 feet away was Thomas and found Daniels underneath for the flush.
But wide open, a breakdown defensively on that back line of the zone defense for the Spartans.
Center court Middleton, 49-46. Middleton spins away from Centino. Underneath he finds Taylor. Outside Summers, loose for three. Off the back of the rim and drops through. Gets the friendly roll there. We're all knotted at 49 with 2:16 remaining. Thomas, center court, accelerates. Thomas underneath to Allen. Allen forces with Jones right in his back pocket. A save hits the wire holding up the backboard. So let's see who they're going to give it to here. Looks like Atlantic City will maintain possession.
Holy Spirit switching to sort of a zone look with some man-to-man principles. They're really getting beat in that four corners man-to-man look. So they're switching to a zone, but certainly trying to match up when Atlantic City beats a Holy Spirit defender off the dribble at the top of that zone.
Kevin Allen drives the baseline for the jumper that is rejected by Jones. He's done that a number of times in this ball game, and he's very good at it. Here's Middleton, watched by Centino. Middleton center court. Middleton switching hands on the dribble. Here's the pull-up again. It is off the back of the rim. Rebound is taken off by Brevard. Brevard racing to the forecourt. Right-hand corner for Centino with a step. Down the lane for the floater that is no good. The tip is no good. Rebound is snared by Jordan Taylor. Gives off to Barnes as he moves it across with 1:24 left. 49 all. And a whistle on Thomas as he bumps the player. I think that was Barnes. He'll be moving to the free throw line. It was to shoot two. They're in the double bonus.
Holy Spirit comes down with that rebound, Tony, on the defensive end. There were four players in there, and it looked like all four were out of gas. Nobody necessarily wanted that basketball, and the task of bringing it across the timeline that comes with that. But C.J. Barnes steps up, gets it into the front court, and able to draw the foul.
So Barnes to shoot two to give Holy Spirit the lead. 1:21 left in this game. Here's the first by Barnes. It is good.
Just really impressed by C.J. Barnes' play all season long. He's not a guy who lights it up in the scoring column. He's capable of doing that, but what this team needs him really to do is be that glue guy, the guy who rebounds on the offensive end, rebounds on the defensive end, comes up with some steals, checks the other guy's best player, and that's really what he's done all season long.
And he can handle the basketball,
Absolutely.
taking the pressure off of Middleton, so he gets another. Redfern is in. Centino is out for Atlantic City. Barnes looks down at the court, now back up and hits them both. So big free throws there by C.J. Barnes, 51-49. Holy Spirit on top with 1:15 remaining in this ball game. Thomas, left side, directing traffic. Steps to his left. C.J. Barnes watches him. Off the pick from Allen, now with a step down the lane. Leaves it right-hand corner for the jumper that is no good, and the rebound is snared by Jones. That was Daniels, but it was no good, and gives off to Middleton, who nearly loses control, and he is fouled in the backcourt. So again, the double bonus. Middleton to move to the free throw line to shoot two with under a minute. 53.5 remaining, and Atlantic City now down 51-49.
The Vikings maybe just 2 or 3 seconds away there from coming up with a 10-second call against Holy Spirit there for the Spartans, not able to advance the ball. But Middleton, sensing that the clock was not in his favor, trying to get something done, and really forces the issue. He knows the foul situation, forces the contact, goes to the line.
John Middleton will shoot two. Here's the first. It is good. 14 from Middleton. Had a quiet first half with just 4. But he has come on here in the second half. He will get one more. Hits them both. 53-49 with 52 seconds remaining. Atlantic City down now to Holy Spirit. Here's Thomas off the pick, head of the free throw line for the three that is good. So just that quickly, it's cut to one by Thomas, who worked off the pick, head of the key, and cammed it.
How many times have we seen that, though, from Lamar Thomas? I mean, the kid just hits big shots. That's what he does, and that wasn't even really an offensive play. Certainly didn't look like it. Lamar Thomas, knowing he wanted to take that three, you don't necessarily need it there, but he's a very confident kid, steps into it and drains it.
And most of the time when you see Thomas hitting those three, it's more of a set and shoot type. Right there, he worked off the pick, got the jumper, and he was deadly with it. With 43.1 seconds left in this ball game, Holy Spirit now leading by just one. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Check out their online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. So both teams huddled around their coaches. It'll be Holy Spirit basketball. And it'll be interesting to see how they play it here. Of course, they're in the double bonus, so they don't have to make that first free throw to get the second. And be interesting to see if they're going to work the clock and try to get it down as far as they can. I don't think Atlantic City is going to let them just run it out.
This game almost playing out exactly as we thought it would, as we talked about in the open. You know, how is Holy Spirit going to handle the constant Atlantic City pressure over the course of the game? Do the Spartans have enough left in the tank to get over that hump at the end? Well, we're going to find out right now. Spirit with a 1-point lead, but Atlantic City is going to throw on a ton of pressure right now.
Yeah, they're going to look for that full court pressure as C.J. Barnes slaps the basketball, still looking, continues to look, and has to call timeout. Didn't want to throw it away. He did that twice in the first half, just threw the basketball away on inbound passes, and he did not want to do that. Both teams come in at 15-4. Atlantic City has won 7 straight. Holy Spirit 5 in a row, including a big win over Camden Catholic at Shoottown Cancer, and that was a big win. When those two teams get together, it's always interesting because Camden Catholic plays very unorthodox, both offensively and defensively. And I think Jamie Gillespie has played them so many times, he pretty much knows pretty much as much about them as any team, because they're very, very difficult to prepare for.
Yeah, one of those holy wars, we like to call it in the media, and certainly they have faced off against each other a number of times over the years. Of course, this year, Camden Catholic in non-public A, Holy Spirit in non-public B, so they wouldn't meet in the postseason. But as we've alluded to, or even talked about, that was really the first, I don't know if you want to call it the first marquee win, but certainly, you know, a signature marquee win that Holy Spirit felt like they were due for, and then they finally got, and certainly carrying over some confidence into this one. They were down early big, they didn't let it get to them, and all of a sudden they're in a position to win this game right now, but only up by 1, 43 seconds to go. Still a lot of work to do here against a very tough, scrappy AC team.
Of course, the biggest challenge right here is to get the basketball inbounds. Again, Barnes slaps the basketball, continues to look, and it comes to Middleton, has it knocked away by Redfern. So we'll do it again. 42 seconds now remain. 53-52, Holy Spirit. In case you just joined us, Holy Spirit has trailed for virtually the entire game. Inbound pass comes to Summers, and Summers is bumped in the backcourt. And Jameer Pavard saying, "Are you kidding me?" As Summers is going to shoot 2.
Almost a question of who wanted the basketball for Spirit. You know, a situation like this, whoever catches that ball, it's going to be no easy task to turn around and try to get something done. Summers cutting hard to the basketball. He's able to get the inbound pass, and then double teamed. It looked like some feet got tangled up along the baseline, and the referees call a foul, so Summers goes to the line.
Of course, if he hits them both, it'll give Holy Spirit a 3-point lead, but he doesn't. First is no good.
Summers seemed to hurt his non-shooting wrist a couple minutes ago, too, when he took that hard foul after the and one situation. So he's been kind of looking at it, letting it hang a little bit. It could be playing a factor here.
Misses them both, and the rebound comes down to Allen. Here's Thomas moving it out of the backcourt with 35 seconds left. Daniels underneath to the cutter, and it's no good! Missing the easy one was Redfern. Point blank. Here's Taylor. A lead for Summers. Summers is down the lane now, continues the dribble. Nearly throws it away. Jones has it stolen. Thomas the lead for Centino, who's down the lane, floats and hits. 54-53, 5 seconds remaining. Here's Barnes with 1 second. The long-range jumper, no good, no good. So Atlantic City has beaten Holy Spirit again. 54-53 in an incredibly exciting game. And Mike Frankel is just waiting for the teams to untangle it after all the excitement, and he will be talking to Coach Gene Allen. Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Connect with Brian Demel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook. Just waiting for Mike to get a hold of Coach Gene Allen. Of course, right now the two teams are shaking hands at a thrilling finish, 54-53. As Holy Spirit came back to take the lead, but just couldn't seal the deal after trailing 21-8 after the first quarter. Mike Frankel has got Coach Gene Allen.
All right, Tony here with Atlantic City Vikings head coach Gene Allen. Gene, you guys got up big early. You knew it was never going to be easy, though, and Holy Spirit comes storming back. The finish, though, an incredible finish to another incredible matchup between these teams.
Well, we understood that we played really well in the first quarter. However, I knew they would come back. I emphasized it with the kids going into halftime. I thought when we had a 12-point lead, right before the half, we should have held the ball. Made 2 bad plays, chopped it down to 8, and I knew from that point on it was going to be a heck of a game, and it was.
We saw tempers flare a little bit there during the timeout. I know a lot of respect between the coaching staffs there.
No, that wasn't it. What had happened was, he said one of my guys said something to him that was disrespectful, and I was actually going over to apologize and to tell him that I was going to reprimand my guy. You know I don't play that kind of foolishness.
We know it, Gene. The finish there, the winning basket coming from Jameer Pavard. Sort of a frustrating game for him, in and out of some foul trouble, but he's a guy, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, he's just been clutch. And a kid like that, sitting the bench most of the game, but he comes through for you. What a moment.
Yeah, I was very proud of our kids. I thought we hung in there, and I'm very happy for Jameer to make a winning shot.
What does this win do for your team's confidence? 2 wins over Holy Spirit this season. You'll probably, most likely, see him again, so business is not done, but certainly a team flying high going into the Cape Atlantic League and state playoffs.
Well, I agree, but next Tuesday or Wednesday, or if we were lucky enough to get by Monday night, means much more than this. This was very entertaining. I enjoyed watching it. I thought both teams played well, but I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't mean anything unless we win on Wednesday.
All right, Gene Allen, congratulations tonight. Great win, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you very much, as always.
Gene Allen, victorious coach of Atlantic City, is, I guess you can't ask for a better game than that, Mike. I mean, didn't look like it was going to be competitive when it started out 21-8 after the first quarter, but Holy Spirit able to weather the storm, actually take the lead, but in the end they just could not seal the deal and end up losing 54-53, and I guess that's the way you want these kind of games to end up, right?
Absolutely. We talked about it, and it was all Vikings early, but these games rarely end in a lopsided way, especially in recent years. These teams know each other very well. They know what either team likes to run on offense, what either team likes to run on defense, and you just had maybe a feeling with about 43 or 53 seconds to go, Holy Spirit a 1-point lead, but the Spartans were still going to have to do something extra to win that game, even with that lead. That's how good the AC Vikings are on defense, and it came down to a situation where a couple missed free throws led to a situation, an opportunity, I should say, for Atlantic City, and the Vikings, as they almost always do, capitalize on those opportunities.
So Atlantic City wins their 8th straight, improves to 16-4, and for the Spartans, their 5-game win streak is snapped, and they are now at 15 up and 5 down. So once again, Atlantic City wins both matches with Holy Spirit this year, this time 54-53. For Mike Frankel, this is Tony Blum. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Don't forget, next week, following the Cape Atlantic League Basketball Tournament right here at 97.3 ESPN FM. Stay tuned to the station and we'll give you all the details about which games we're covering, what times, etc., etc. So for Mike, this is Tony. Hope you enjoyed it. Once again, the final, Atlantic City winning it 54-53. So long for now.